Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the weekly forecast for the week of Sunday the 3rd through Saturday the 9th of July. It is all signs collective forecast, so basically you take what you need and leave the rest. You have to figure out where and if this reading fits in your life. Each card is going to signify about a day or two of the week. And then, where it applies, you get to decide to what situations. If it doesn't apply, that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong or that things are bad. It's just you might be working on something different at this time. Please hit the like button, share the video out, leave me a question or comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell. All are great ways of supporting the channel. The content is daily and free. And check out the drop-down menu for those of you that are new to make you aware of sort of the house rules and what decks I'm using, how to contact me for a private reading, all of that sort of stuff. So, let's see what's going to go on. Oh, and this video is not solely set for the dates that it's created. If you're watching it at a different time and it still applies and makes sense, that's okay. Go ahead and utilize it. So let me see here. Give me one moment. I'm going to shuffle these cards. This deck that I'm working with is very weak in its cardstock, and I don't like how it shuffles at all. Okay. So, for the beginning of the week, we have the Five of Swords: disagreement, conflict, and ambition. Swords is that element of air. It is how we communicate. It is how we think. This could be internal thoughts that we're in conflict with. Fives are always about change. So it's not going to stay this way. We have to remember that, right? So the underpinning energy in the beginning of the week could be a little bit uncomfortable in our thoughts, in how we're communicating. We might feel like we're not being understood or heard. I get a sense with this Five of Swords that with this mountain here, even though there's a dark shadow on one side, there's light on the other side, and it is climbable. It is achievable that we get beyond this, right? But we may have to deal with some sort of struggle or fight. It's 11:11 as I film this. Interesting. Struggle or fight as we move forward, right? I think that sometimes how we fight or what we resist will persist. So if we just settle into this and understand that this too shall pass, that maybe our communication is off, or maybe we're being misunderstood, or maybe it's not quite exactly the way we want it to be, or maybe our own thinking is undermining us in some way, shape, or form in the beginning of the week. Allow it to just be. Continue to climb the mountain. Continue to sort of make it happen, right? And you will get there. Let's see what's going on for the midweek. The midweek is the Three of Wands, which is interesting to me. This is creativity, expansion, and growth. So I love how this little fish is just sort of floating around in the sky, like things have opened up for him. Fishes are much more slippery, flexible. They move through the water smoothly. So I feel like things should feel inspired with that Three of Wands energy, right? Three of Wands is like looking to the future and kind of calling it in from a deep spiritual desire. The communication mishap or whatever is misfiring in the beginning of the week should ideally be gone and opened up by the midweek with the Three of Wands there. The Three of Wands, to me, that fish kind of turning towards the future, feels like we could be taking a turn towards a better future or something more inspiring and exciting that we want, we desire. Wands is that fire energy. I will say that this air-fire combination, they are complementary to one another. So if we find ourselves being challenged by our thoughts in the beginning of the week and then facing those challenges, releasing them and moving towards what it is we do want in a creative fashion, in an inspired fashion, don't be surprised. Let that happen. Swim towards it, right? There's that phrase, don't wait for your ship to come in, swim out towards it. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this little fish. Do the work, right? Don't judge yourself. Try not to make it worse or have more of a communication breakdown in that Five of Swords energy in the early part of the week. Remember, it's only transitory. And remember that the Three of Wands is about that spiritual inspiration and also about, I'm going fast. Also about threes are about the balance of the mind, body, spirit, that connection of what it is we desire and how we want it, right? How do we make that happen? How do we bring that in? How do we swim out towards our ship rather than wait for it to come in, because it may not just come in on its own. Now, the last card is the Knight of Swords. Back to that swords energy. This is action, defense, and impulsiveness. A little bit of fear here with these two, but going inwards, knights can be oftentimes dedicated, right? I feel like these two are a little bit nurturing to one another, like kind of caved in there trying to hide out and stay safe. Refrain from being too impulsive at the end of the week. I don't know why. I feel like there's this protective nature with this card. We may want to be careful with what we're doing, how we're doing it, what we're saying too. Sometimes the Knight of Swords can say things that, not that we don't mean, but we can kind of jump in there too quickly without kind of looking at the ramifications of that. When I look at these two little bears, they're kind of protecting each other and keeping each other safe and solid. So using the intelligence and the dedication of the Knight of Swords, measure things a little bit more. Maybe somewhat keep your thoughts a little bit protected into yourself, or how you communicate them, keep them to yourself towards the week's end, and allow yourself to feel kind of, I don't know, stable or secure, even if things are, I don't know, moving quickly or happening in a way that, I don't know, requires you to jump to things. Try not to jump to conclusions is my feeling. Stay in your lane. It's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. All right, let's go to the White Light Oracle and see what card that is. We have the 7 Blessings of Eve. Card number 7. 7s are going to be about making a conscious choice for change. We also see that change energy in the 5 in the beginning of the week. So I'm not mad at that. It's interesting to me that this snake, sort of this spiritual snake, is kind of spiraling upward and heading to the light or towards this higher understanding or awareness. Again, we have to choose that. There's also, to me, sort of a choice in the 3 of Wands in the midweek of committing ourselves to what it is we spiritually desire or want. So, and the Knight of Swords will take action and go after it. Right? He's not about sitting around waiting, but we want to be careful that we're not like jumping to conclusions, saying the wrong thing, or being rash in our decision making as we take action towards what it is we want in our thought process. A lot of air and fire in this week. So to me, it looks like it's about setting our mind to it, and then, aligning our spirit to that, and then taking, thought or communicative action towards it, but being careful with that, okay? Let's read the 7 Blessings of Eve. A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full, glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. Eve dwelled in the original paradise of the Garden of Eden. She is the mother of knowledge. From knowledge, wisdom can be developed. Wisdom is the egg of Sophia, the divine feminine power to be a birth mother of higher consciousness, to bring forth the light of loving awareness. Eve's oracle is not an omen of being cast out of paradise. It is a sign that a false view which has been holding you captive is going to give way to a greater understanding, which will empower you to be a bearer of the light, a priestess or priest of the egg of Sophia. This oracle encourages you to seek the knowledge you need, to not be held captive by secrets or misinformation. That would be the 5 of Swords, guys. And to know that from that knowledge, you shall be able to shed false views, like a snake shedding its skin, and grow in wisdom. You should know what you need to know and find your way in truth. The oracle also indicates a shift away from shame and confusion, perhaps feeling you have something to prove, or that you are not enough, or that you have to atone for a failing in this or other lifetimes. Instead, your soul is moving you toward a realization of the inherent goodness and grace that is your real nature. You are blessed. You are granted a unique, unrepeatable human life. Even if you believe in reincarnation, acknowledging the soul continues to grow over many lifetimes. There will only be one lifetime when you are this you. If you treasure this life, you will become bolder, more fearless, more willing to step up as your real self, more willing to engage in healing and say yes to what makes your heart sing. There is a rabbinic saying that every time a human being walks down the street, a choir of angels cries, make way, for the image of God is approaching." Loving humanity is not always easy, especially when the darker side of human nature causes such suffering. Yet there is much heroism, love, kindness, and nobility too. Look to the positive and open your heart to the best in yourself and those around you. Choose to see and nurture the spiritual light in yourself and others to the best of your ability. We are all growing and evolving in our own way. Even those who trouble your heart are doing their best. Acknowledge that humans have limited capacities and deserve compassion and the chance to awaken spiritually. Nonetheless. Do not, however, allow yourself to become a doormat to anyone's ego games. Entrust the spiritual progress and protection of all beings to the divine feminine as you care for yourself and others as consciously as you can. Certain numbers have sacred significance that crosses religious and cultural boundaries. 7 is one of the numbers with significance in Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, Baha'i, and New Age. The spiritual power of 7 includes a natural charisma and capacity to be an influential channel for a higher wisdom. The presence of 7 is a sign from the universe to reconnect to the sacred. The oracle of the 7 blessings of Eve is a reminder that you are the sacred being and have no need to hold yourself hostage to shame, blame, guilt, anger, judgment, or fear. Acknowledge your connection to spiritual knowledge. Pray your prayers shall be answered. Healing process. Imagine, feel, and intend that your mind becomes softly and pleasantly fuzzy, moving from sharp focus into gentle streaming waves of white light. Your head may relax, including the nerves at the base of your skull, the fascia covering your face, the muscles around your eyes, cheeks, ears, and jaw. The top of your head may feel as if it's melting. You are feeling peace, clarity, and a sense of light. Recognize that the light is intelligent, knows what you need and when. It is bringing an abundance of offerings to you in the perfect way at the perfect time. This helps you to relax further and let go. You can allow these sensations to travel through your entire body if you wish. You may like to close your eyes and relax more deeply. Rest in this state for as long as it feels right for you. Ground yourself and hydrate. You have completed your healing process. Intense, guys. It looks like there's something transforming with our thoughts, our communication, and there's definitely this sort of focus on the mental realm this week, keeping a keen eye or contact with that, right? And then opening that up in a way to a higher wisdom or understanding. So let's get to it, right? Let me look to the hidden truth and see what the sort of grounding card is for this week. And this underpins the entirety of the week, guys, so keep that in mind. I wonder how you feel. So I feel like this week is extremely mental, right? As far as like all of the air, fire energy, blessings, what is it? The 7 blessings of Eve is about our own intelligence, right? And so wondering how we feel might be thinking about connecting our feelings to stuff. But I feel like this week is more about our thoughts and what we're communicating at a mental level, what we're putting out there, and also checking in with how our thoughts indicate our feelings, right? That's this, I wonder how you feel. Like it's almost like a reminder to me to say, okay, if I'm thinking this, how is it making me feel? Because those feelings are sort of putting out the vibration of what we're creating, if that makes sense. So we want to be aware of that, in touch with that, and then not allow that to be our dominating sort of thought or feeling. Does that make sense? So connecting our thoughts to our feelings and checking in with that is going to be key this week. And then acting from that place of, is this the right thought? Is this the good thought? Is this what we need? Is going to be powerful for us. That's the Knight of Wands energy in moving us forward towards what it is we want to create, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. These decks are a little bit trippy, I'll be honest. And the fact that I'm in a foreign country while reading from them, I just don't feel like my normal self. So I will leave it at that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the reading. Please hit that thumbs up button, give me a subscribe, leave a question or comment. Feel free to share the video out, let your friends know about me, help me to grow the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Connect to your thoughts, be aware of them, transform them, align them with your spiritual desire this week, and then connect them to how you're feeling, and be aware that that feeling and that power is really ultimately what you are creating at some level, right? And so shifting that to whatever degree it needs to be so that you can better create what you need rather than what you're receiving that may be causing you discomfort is going to be key this week. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.